चल वार्म अप पे चला गई।
Yeah, 420 blaze it, Thug Lord Faze up, Swag Priest, Globe. Survive
चल
the
भाई
test
हो गया
of
शुरू
all these
बस।
aimers on the Faze plan. What are you expecting, Dan? 16-5?
Well, it's not cool. I mean, I think, it's already pointed out that, okay, there's not a huge amount of expectation from Splice, having qualified in the way that they did, and going up against Faze, a lot of aim starts and so on and so forth. But we did see a decent amount of fragging on the train side of things from players like Davey on trains, so maybe there is hope from an individual level. But Faze, they always have typically loved to find themselves on Inferno. It was a great map for them at the last major, so they're definitely going to be feeling comfortable. And we have the pistol now, and it's kicked off. And
so you can see Ari's position. That's actually a massively nadeable position, which I'll get back to a bit later. Nice one tap onto Fox. It's going to get wrecked from a position he likes to hold himself. So Faze with Rob Barn standing behind.
ओए यार याने क्या शॉट
no,
कराई है।
Man disadvantage. They've got three players with Kevlar. Makalele is going to be the nade man for the T side. He is currently going towards Banana.
यार ब्लॉकेटिंग फेड रेन के पास है।
It's got the bomb in.
बड़ा प्यारा लग रहा है।
And indeed, in terms of massively nadeable, similar to where he was standing by tree, you can nade that position Ari was holding.
Aria does have an incendiary though, so this could be quite interesting actually. Faze, they don't have too many players. They've of course got down one early on thanks to that quick pop from Aria, and Rain's kind of lurking towards the A, so they're out to delay rotation. But Faze, they're being delayed by some of these nades. A lot of nade play coming in from the CTs from Splice, and a bit of a trade going in there, and the Lurker is now dead. Rain is out of the picture. It's down to AZ, Kim, and Michael Lilly as they make their way onto the B-bomb site. Aria in the site, able to get nothing more, as Jason is going to have to fall back into construction. So this is a good take coming in from Faze. 3 men alive, the bomb goes down. They're looking quite healthy here.
Yep, no significant grenades on either side, and all the CTs are going to be coming in from CT. Abe is not going to make anything happen, neither is Jason R. So it's down to Professor Chaos after a good start for the CTs, down to 1 versus 3. Needs to find a tap. Doesn't happen though. AZ to finish things off. Faze definitely happy with that.
Yeah, good start from Faze.
Able
to keep the CTs on a poor economy going into the early stages of the match is always very, very preferable. And we'll have to see what their plays will be here. That typical anti-force spy sort of situation. There are some teams on a map like this where you really favor having a strong first buy as CTs, lots of nades, where you wouldn't go, you wouldn't spend everything like we see Splice doing now. But either way, you need to have an
prediction for 98% Faze.
See how Faze handle it. We don't want to see them split up. We want to see them move in a coordinated way, using all the Molotovs to move CTs out of dangerous positions and to then capitalize with those SMGs.
So Splice have got 3 CZs in tow, and they've got 3 players close to mid. As you can see, there a bit of a crossfire going on. If Faze opts to put down smokes, which I don't think would be a good idea, then the CT might choose to dance around them.
स्टिकर वाले तो होंगे।
Faze with nice
मैंने कहा वो बैट पर लगाते हैं लाजमी। जो मेन है।
For the CTs, Davey still in the balcony area, but you can see Rain playing the range game, picking up one tap coming in with the 5-7, picks up a UMP, and there's another frag for the CTs. The bomb is down in control of the T's, but Davey is still a problem in that position. Aria's getting a long range shot onto Jacob, so now Faze down to 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that happened really quickly. I'm not sure how that even managed to occur, but it's a 2 versus 2 now as Fox is starting to take the impetus, picks up the bomb, and makes his way into the apartment. So he does have, of course, the support of Fox, who's already cleared out the site for Michael Elliott with that bomb. And Abe is going to be creeping up here with this P250, looking for more significant weaponry, and he will find an imp, and he's going to lose the battle against the P90. So things not looking too good here for Ario, 4 HP. And he might decide to actually say, let's just try the next round now and just keep this AK alive. He's got a Molotov. He's got head armor, Kevlar, a CZ of which he can drop to a teammate.
He's got $4,600 in value.
Save करेगा ये.
Exactly.
That's what he has.
AK लेगी है.
So yeah, very smart to just hold off here. But really great result, to be honest, for Splice. I thought, initially their trade frag setup at the top of mid is actually quite good at punishing teams that don't really have great coordination on their anti-force Splice. And if you hit the shots, you can cause a lot of trouble. And that didn't work out too well, but then, I mean, Splice might themselves, still getting 3 kills. So job done there, especially considering the AK-47 is saved. Now the interesting thing is going to be how they use the AK, because in this next round, they don't need to save this AK in the next round. They don't need to protect it. They can take risks with it if they, and that'd be really fun to see what kind of risk they would decide to go with, especially as Arya can drop the CZ, which he has done, to Professor Chaos, who's now actually brought Kevlar behind it.
FaZe are a team who have done pretty terribly as of late, and they're a team who historically have not been the most organized, even at times where Robban has been behind them. Still early days in terms of that experiment, but my point being is that I wouldn't say this is necessarily guaranteed for Splice to get wiped out here by FaZe. I mean, if things don't go well for FaZe, wonder what will happen in terms of temperament. We saw G2 get 16-1 yesterday, so I wouldn't rule them out just yet. Good start as well. Arya getting the frag with the AK. Potentially can throw it over to Chaos, but he's just gone down towards B. Trade coming in though. 2 players down for the T side. Arya on the wrong side of the smoke, and you have to imagine he will try to save his AK to fight another day. Arya, a player who's been on a great many teams in North America, mainly due to instability, I would say. I remember when we were inviting teams to qualifiers for previous Face-It leagues, and he'd be on Area 51, but then he'd be on a different team, and there'd be like shuffles within weeks and so on. So it looks like a more stable time and a stable roster here for Splice. So we'll see what they have to offer. Bearing in mind, they have absolutely no pressure. They've got nothing to prove. As it's a bit of a Goran Ivanisevic at Wimbledon scenario that we have here.
One of the cool things as well is that Arya could just, I think, straight up, how much money is he going to have? He's got $2,600 right now. It's going to be the third loss, so that's going to be $2,400. So yeah, he'll be able to just straight up drop an ult for a teammate if he wants to, because he saved his weapon and his armor and stuff. And he's got a Molotov still, so he could drop an ult for somebody if they want, and they'll be able to have full nades. That option is there. But of course, Splice did invest maybe a little bit too much in the previous round, so the money is not nearly as good as it actually should be in this position.
Orb has been dropped.
And we do have a replay here. We can see Rain just going for the entries into the B-bomb site.
Money.
And to be honest, Splice actually had a decent chance. It was a really cool push to second mid. Again, we talked about taking a risk with the AK. That's exactly what they did. So
Professor Chaos has picked up a Mag 7 and full nades. He looks like he's going to be playing towards apps, which is fine. Davy's got the AWP. Actually, Davy's going into the apps ahead of Professor Chaos, who perhaps will be in for support, but Arya's got himself another frag with that AK, so he's causing serious problems. Professor Chaos looking towards balcony, can get a one-shot from there. Oh, that nade is dirty. Down to 49 HP, that's a big problem.
Yeah, this is a really cool start here for Splice now, because the fact is that they didn't have many grenades to begin with, and they get the first frag really quickly. Unfortunately for Splice, though, Davy's going to go down the apps. They're playing aggressively still, even though they have the advantage on players. They're going to lose they're going to lose 2 members pushed up apartments. So now Jason R is under a lot of pressure, 1 versus 4 essentially on the bomb site, and of course he gets traded. He does get 1 kill though, so the retake attempt is possible. Arya and Abe going in, not many grenades. In fact, no grenades really to speak of. Abe just going straight in alone. And Arya's getting caught behind the smoke. So that round started off really well for Splice, but it kind of fell apart. I mean, they were playing aggressively for that first kill. And, you got to question if they're tempting fate there.
But one issue is you have to bear in mind what this North American team is used to playing against. When you have AZ, people like AZ coming up against you, what may work at home is not necessarily going to work here on LAN. AZ's actually, you saw him in the apps there getting that pick. He's actually quite a strong player on both sides of apps when he chooses to play there. If he has a good spawn on the CT side, you may see him go for a timing push into apps where he drops a nade off the balcony into people running up second mid rather than going for the face where, there's more variance there. It's not something I've seen any other player do, and has a lot of potential actually, so hopefully we'll see that later on so people can spot that little strat. We can see Splice have bought up here. They've left themselves with about 2k in the bank. Got 5 players with Kevlar, that Mag 7 onto Davy once again. We'll see if we can have more success with it on this occasion.
Yeah, this is looking to be a pretty solid start for Faze. Splice have had some good opportunities, but we're starting to see them get whittled down in this round as JKM picks up the first frag in the apps again. Nice angles, and Fox is looking for the entries up mid. So just some basic map control plays from Faze. By no means really committed to anything just yet, and it's going pretty well. They're picking up all the frags here. Just one player down, and it's Aria left alone now for the Splice side with that Deagle and the Kevlar. He's going to find himself an AK-47 and see if he can get something done here at the bottom of mid, but he gets flashed and sprayed down by JKM. So 5-0, and Splice now with that max round loss bonus are going to be on some good money, as we can see. So the AWP is going to come into play for Davey, but
Sure.
yeah, it's I'm curious how this is going to go for Splice. We haven't really seen anything just yet that's too encouraging.
One thing to always bear in mind or to look out for the you watching him is when you see in a situation where one team is ecoing or something and there's a weapon on the floor, it's quite common that the team with the
खिलाफ ही यार
them to look at that weapon. So
और
you
ये
might see
लड़का
somebody
चीख रहा था
hanging around that
फेसबुक पे
weapon looking for the other team.
उन्होंने उसे किक कर दिया
And punish them for doing so. So that's part
कहता
of
मैंने
the
सिर्फ
meta
इतना
to
कहा
keep
था
an
कि
eye
तुम
out
लोग
for.
बी कर लो मैं ए कर लूंगा लॉन्ग तो उन्होंने उसे किक कर दिया
And 3 towards A, fairly standard setup. Sometimes you can see a double short or double long setup from the CT. Sometimes people boosted onto the roof towards short, but nothing different going on really here. A very standard setup here from the Splice team, although they have the smoke down the bottom of Banana now, and that will be a strong advantage for them. They have 3 smokes in the hole in the hole at the moment, so they can continue to re-smoke that for a while, and that will make the general hold of the map a little bit easier for Splice.
Yeah, and so with Aria pushed up towards Banana and that initial control towards there, it's going to pressure Faze to take more attention towards the middle area just to begin with, and Splice now falling back. And instead of playing 4 players towards A and having that control of B, they're actually just sticking 2 to B, and this is happening whilst Faze are pushing up into middle now. So very defensive play coming in, and of course we do get that kill onto JKM. So this is actually nice to see from Splice. So Jason R is playing from CT spawn, or from Arch side from CT spawn basically, and there's 2 players in pit for Splice. This is quite tentative now.
Yeah, he's got no information for his team has Jason R. From the arch position, he could have a teammate flash him from the pit area, but the push is coming in. We've got 3 people pushing short, basically. 1 in apps, 2 on short itself, and they're getting all the frags. Davey going to trade, but he's going to get traded straight back. Man advantage for the teeth, but there's 13 seconds. Bomb being planted on default. Down it goes. So both Splice players coming from the CT position, but it seems that Abe might be... Well, he ran backwards for a second, so I thought he was going for the save there, but I think he's going to join his teammate just in case he can get a quick frag. Aria perhaps moving towards the apps, although it does look like a save indeed. Abe is starting to back off. So we're heading towards a 6-0 for Faze Clan, so an excellent start for them. No scores or money for Splice going forward here.
I mean, the thing is, if they're able to save both of these rifles, then they can actually force up the next round, because Aria and Abe can drop their rifles. They'll still have the $3,400.
6-0 होने लगा ही भाई
losing 5 in a row, so they can rebuy their M4s. The only problem though is that they will only have the ability to then afford like 1 smoke each or something. So that's the main issue there. And right now Splice are showing that they're struggling to keep up in these big pushes. We're seeing this big push finally coming to fruition, removing both players from pit is Michaelele. So really strong. The whole defense was pivoting on this one play in pit.
If we look at Aria's position, Aria actually had a spawn that I was talking about that AZ and other players will abuse, where you can get into apps and cross mid normally without being shot, but he chose to go towards B instead, so that was an advantage they could have had there. Could have put somebody closer to apps, but it's not going to be the case. They've got 2 people towards B, and Rain is going to get the pick there. Aria showing, Aria getting shot straight in the face. We've got trades coming in towards B bomb site, but the T's are there in numbers. B's been cleared now. We've got Jason R close, but his teammates are strained behind him. We've got AZ watching mid from outside the apps on A, so the Faze Clan only need to worry about the CT area. Jason R's got a strong position, however. Rain's heavily tagged as well, so they might need that rotation to come in sooner rather than later from AZ.
Yeah, he's just chilling in Vietnam at the moment, just sitting in the crawl space, as we'll see the 3 players with Splice actually in position to go for the retake. It's just the smoke slowing them down, but those are dissipating now. Although that said, AZ has a wealth of grenades at the moment. As Professor K diving on top of Rain, who's on pull, and both players being spotted towards Banana, but it's not really going to help if they can't get the frags. Jason will throw down the incendiary there. And oh no, actually,
User joined your channel.
But that missed completely. And this is just a mess now for Jason. Can he even survive? No,
Hello.
he cannot get out of there in time. And Splice are forced to a
This
position
dark
where
is
they
not.
qualify
Bomb ही नहीं
essentially,
मिला.
in this round. They
हाँ
won't
भाई,
really
क्या
have
हालत
enough
है?
for a significant buy. I mean, they
ठीक ठाक.
can get FAMAS and nades and so on.
आज भी
They
कोई
won't have
टूर्नामेंट
more.
है?
We're going to see Aria on the Mag 7. It's like just going to keep buying. I mean, there is an argument for that. They've lost so many rounds at this point.
लो तुम लोग देख जा
But
रहे
the
हो
problem
बैठ
is
के.
nades on this map. It's always going to be about nades on this map.
यार अब यही तो है साल में एक
They've got
दफा.
a reasonable amount of nades here, 4 smokes in the bag. So we'll see if they opt for some aggression to try and take
इसको मिला ही कल.
They need to try and get some surprising kills as well, maybe with some pop flashes here and there. So looking to charge down towards Banana, those Molotovs will slow them down. You can see the boost coming in as well from the T's. This could take them by surprise. Fox is looking for somebody to show their ugly faces so he can rip them off. So it may not be the case. Abe going to be smarter than that and won't give him said opportunity. So we're going to have one CT rotating over towards A while these smokes are down. We'll try and bolster the forces there.
Yeah, this is how you would expect it to happen, but
Aria's gone down.
But the smoke was surely still down there. I think that might have been a frag through the smoke. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like pass was, and that's a really big loss there. Of course, Aria was going to. He hadn't thrown his smoke yet. The idea was that he was going to throw a smoke down. He could rotate back to the car, play just for information, and fall back onto the site. But now, Splice in a lot of trouble. And oh my goodness, Fox gets another pick. That's Abe down. That's the round. That could be just the round just won right now, because Splice having to retake from this position is going to be next to impossible. And they recognize that immediately. They'll be going for the save. And if they're able to keep 2 or more weapons alive, they can still buy fully in the next round. The thing as well, that we can think about in that round is that
clear हो गई भाई.
For Splice, because then you were able to save 2 weapons, and they keep trying to force buy with that money loss bonus, but then they don't really have enough nades to be comfortable. They're like, okay, we don't have quite enough nades, we want to be aggressive, well, they're forced to make plays that maybe you don't actually want to make in the ideal world. So
Faze have nothing to lose in this point. They've got more than enough money in the bag, and it's very valuable to them to try and kill as many of the remaining
ये तो
players
इको ही
as
घी
possible.
जा रहे हैं
So
यार.
you've got Fox hanging around just in case, and the rest of the team will go on the hunt and see Jason in the pit, and we'll see if they can get the frag. Doesn't matter how many Faze members go down at this point. At least one of them's on 10k. And there we go, the wipeout is complete. 8-0 in favour of Faze, and again you've got Splice on ropey money, so we'll see what the option is here.
मार दिए.
Aria was moving around in the smoke, and
Save भी नहीं करने दे
the
रहे.
silhouettes was enough for Fox to do what Fox does.
that was massive too. And yeah, that's one of those interesting differences. And we will see the quasi buy here finally from Splice, so they can actually have a full-on buy the next round. But yeah, you got to know exactly what spots to step in to be safe from that boost. And
Davey went for the run into mid and did the nades that actually AZ does as well. Although he didn't really have the best spawn for it, and he could have been shot. There was a shot fired as he was crossing. But there we go. Nade doesn't do any damage either.
so we can see once again these trade frag setups in the middle area. We saw this from Splice previously as well on their force buy. They didn't get much from it then. But Faze don't actually necessarily know if they're up against a quasi or a force buy, because Splice has been buying basically every round. So it's hard probably for them to read it. But that shouldn't matter too much. See that Faze have taken over apartments. They've got Banana as well. The only thing they're missing at the moment is middle control, and that's where 3 members of Splice are currently situated. 4 members of Splice are currently situated. So will they run into this little stack here from Splice?
Bomb is being collected by the Faze boys. 45 seconds left in the clock. They don't really have much going on in terms of changing that very quickly indeed. Nobody in the pit for the CTs, and that should be a free bomb plant for the team. Ooh, he's doing a bit of work there. Actually, Rain is quite tagged, but he's going to swap out for Fox. He's going to get the frag, and that should mark the end of the round. Aria coming in from the back. I don't think that gun is going to be savable for him either, so he may just try to position himself for an exit frag. But we're looking at 0-9 in favour of the Faze clan. Faze up, that's what those COD people say, right?
I don't know. James, quite frankly, I have no idea.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
But right now, is there anything to give you confidence that Splice will even get around on the board at this point? I see
Not
hesitation.
particularly,
James.
no. I don't see.
Yeah.
I think in order for that to happen, I think they need to smoke off banana and hold it.
Well, this is the first round where they'll have the money to get the nades to do that. So I would be encouraged by seeing that, like the full nades, including the full incendiary setup, so that you can play more passively.
9-0 ये क्या हो रहा है यार?
And I mean, Davy's picking up an all period. It's something that Davy could be quite good at, is picking up an early advantage for the team.
Third time out ले
to see
लिए
them
ने.
play the man up advantages correctly and.
ये लात ही उनके बड़े खराब हैं, उन्हें
basically
समझ ही
having
नहीं
a
आ रही हो
situation
क्या
where,
रहा
okay,
है.
we get the 5 versus 4, so now let's just play very passive. So okay, maybe we'll get less information, but we won't need information as much because they've got less players. So we can trade properly when they try to push a site, and then if a retake is necessary, we'll win it.
To be honest, there's not much going on in the way of kills on the Splice side at the moment. Aria has 7 kills, but there's been a number of rounds early on. I think he might have got, there's been a number of rounds early on where he got a few kills, but some of them were low impact kills as well. And beyond him, we've got 2 people on 4, 1 person on 3, and 1 person on 1. So there's not really a lot happening. But really, I think if they are going to start winning rounds here, I think they just need as many people as possible on A with banana smokes off. And someone not getting picked through the smoke, which is just unlucky.
Right, yeah.
Trading and, I don't know, stroke of luck.
Well, the thing about not getting picked off with the smoke there is that when you have these deep banana smokes, it's actually common enough that that you would see it in professional matches that you'll have the boost on the plant pop.
Yeah.
And from a lot, many months ago, up to a year ago, you'll see even some teams in the position of Aria that actually would just like you have the smokes up your pre-fire. What you also need to know is where you can step so you won't be visible to that boost.
Yeah.
And there are some teams and players that are super highly sensitive and cognizant of that kind of stuff, and you can see it paying off. Like if you
कितना
watch, for
time out
example,
था?
2
2 minutes.
let's say a Fnatic or something, a really high level team, they won't make mistakes like that. And you can see, as you say, that the round fell apart after that. Then Abe had to rotate. He got picked off. It was a pretty hot mess, and we have a situation also where now Faze, every time they do a default, they try to take apartments or they try to take banana or middle. They always get the kills that they need. This is also another problem. There seems to be problems all over the place.
Yeah, and again, I think that's part of the problem of usually playing much weaker opponents, is that things that you expect to work, things that you're used to working, are not going to work against individuals, never mind team, individuals as skilled as AZ, as skilled as Rain. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and here it is, Davey. Can he get the early advantage? Is he actually going to run straight to balcony? Okay, he's just going straight to quad. So it looked like he was considering a little bit of aggression there with that timing, but he's going to be sat on 8. So that's 4 players on A at the start, and will Davey just run the circuit all the way back towards B, or is he going to stick to Arch? Looks like they're going to have a very passive 4-man setup on A. Interestingly, and this is blind as well. Like, as you say, this is fine to do if you smoked off banana and you have info. But what if they go B? Splice just lose the round.
Yeah, Abe is about to smoke off banana actually from Arch, and Aria still has the smoke in the hole. So they have that, but are they going to wait too long to smoke it? That is the question. You can see he's just waiting. There's almost a minute on the clock here. If he manages to get that down in time, which looks like he might, then they might be all right here. But Splice would have seen that smoke came from B. I mean from A, excuse me. You have to wonder if they have the deductions to
exactly
wonder if one person is here, because the entire Faze team is over towards B, which means they have no vision towards A, although they are not going to expect Splice to get aggressive. But here they go, just shooting straight in. Indeed it is Aria on his own. He gets almost 2, only gets the 1, and that's it. AZ's gone a bit crazy, foaming at the mouth down. He's taken down Jacob.
Yeah, so it is the 3 versus 4, but we're going to see that Splice is very fast on the rotation. 2 players in construction, or more or less immediately. So this is actually a very doable situation here for Splice.
अपना ही मार गई गलती से.
So let's see if they can actually execute right now. And Faze, they've got the plant down, they've got positions on the site, they've got sort of heat and play set up in dark and new boxes, as well as Michael Elliott there by the pool positions. So smoke
Team kill कर दिया
that will help out, and Fox picks up the first attack and kill now. Michael Elliott is going to get a frag.
Friendly fire था हो जाता होता.
Leaving things down to 1 versus 2. He's got the rifle, goes for the spray. He's going to miss though, and the defuse is going to come in for the CTs, both with kits. And I think you nailed it on the head there. That setup is insanely risky if you do it too late with just having one guy on the B bomb site, because as soon as they see that
Finally जीत गए round.
thrown over, with no peaks or anything like that. There's no sign of anyone, and the smoke's thrown over immediately from our side. There's some questions to be asked there.
There are indeed, and there'll be questions asked from Splice of Faze Clan with 2 AWPs on their side.
जिसने टीम किल की थी वही टीम जीती है दूसरी.
दूसरी.
Arias picks up the second AWP. He's going over towards B. Davey again. Is he going to go for the cheeky jump across mid? No, he's going to go for the peek. In fact, Fox is already posted, as they would say in America. Although he seems to be looking at the boost now, and Arias on the side.
B
of the car,
अकेला
so
कर रही वो
neither
यार.
person will be holding an engagement angle, if you will. And indeed, Aria will move all the way back into the site itself. They'll be taking that Jacob with a peek towards the second mid. Clearly just holding an angle there, but nice to see some aggression from Splice. That will slow down Faze Clan, and always good to be unpredictable as well versus a much bigger opponent.
और डेवी आके मार के चला गई.
Again, they're doing the 4-man setup on A, and this time Aria's on the B-bomb side with an AWP, and of course Davy's AWPing from A as well. So really, and oh, by the way, also Aria's sitting on coils, and that's the position he's in. So there is definitely risk there, and Davy is going to get the pick onto Fox as he goes for the push up into mid. So the AWP area is really paying off. We already had a expectation for Davy to be a big player in a match like this after his performance against Fnatic, and so far he's able to get something done here. But can they close the round? Here comes Faze. AZ with a double straight into the A-bomb site with that AK-47, and Mike Lely getting the plant.
Indeed, there is a fast rotation coming in towards short from A, but he may have to wait for Aria. It's a 2-1 M4 retake.
क्या बंदे मारे हैं उसने दोनों देखा.
In fact, looking over towards Pit, where
Nine.
would be much more useful.
Wow,
Into
yaar,
both
wow.
sides. And there it is. It comes in towards Pit, and Makelele goes down. 3 versus 2. Clock is ticking, but again, still going to be hard for Splice. Basically, he needs to charge the site with AWPs in hand. Down to one. Aria and Abe left, both coming in from short. Crossfire from Razy and Rain, and that will be enough to get back to winning ways. Splice's economy has been reset.
Yeah, the reset. Oh, the reset's so painful, especially on a map like this.
Yeah.
ODB came in for that money.
Oh my god. Well, Davy's got an AWP at least. But that's it, James. That's pretty much all they have that's of any significance. And he can't afford to be anything but naked with it. Just the AWP, nothing else. A flash. The rest of his teammates on CZ's armor. And one kit on Jason. Some flashbangs to work with too, but here comes the map control plays out of Faze. Got
Look at the boost from Davey. He's looking into Banana, being boosted by Aria in the back, and there he's going to have fruits for his labour. Down goes Fox, wondering what on earth just happened.
That's pretty baller, James.
It is indeed. We'll see if FaZe choose to respond quickly. They can't really calculate exactly how many weapons Splice has. AWP may...
बड़ी शॉट मारी है डेवी ने.
Well, great option by Splice. I mean, if that was a European team, I wonder if the AWP would have already rotated back at this point.
Oh, that was almost perfect. Abe could have potentially got 2 there, but at least he gets 1. Which does put an advantage to Splice on the members. And wow, the CZs doing damage as well, finding lots of 1 versus 1, which they are winning. Jacob now versus 4, but he got it done. So the round will be picked up with 4 players left alive, meaning that they're going to pick up some. They're all going to pick up guns here. So now they've got
Last
back to 2
team update
AWPs,
आ गई.
2 AKs and a Mag 7 on Professor Chaos. So that's a nice turnaround, but you have to wonder, is it too little, too late for the Americans here of Splice?
Well, it's never over until it's over, as evidenced by the previous match, Dan. Double AWPs and the Mag 7 continues on Professor Chaos, and just a replay of that timely boost. Fox just flying in the air like a dove rather than a fox, but he got taken out by the farmer protecting the sheep, Dan. 3 players from Splice over towards the bomb site now. We've got a player spotted in T-Apps, but there was no connection made there with the AWP. Maybe going for yet more aggression. It's a nice angle to hold, actually. Although he will have to flick up if somebody peeks him from the apps. As you can see there, just testing the range there. The double peek coming in, that is glorious from FaZe. Haven't seen this kind of synchronization from them before.
And Professor Gale's going to actually go up there, looking to try to
वो
get
भी
something
अपडेट
back.
बड़ी जल्दी हुई.
Maybe get the AWP. And risky business, does get out of there alive with some info. Aria feeling the pressure towards Banana as well, but it does look like Splice are going to be in for some trouble here, because FaZe still got a bunch of grenades left, still got a minute to play with as well, and they can still go either which way. Although, do have a pretty aggressive position on A by the wagon there, so playing the smoke. but he does get flashed away. So nicely done by Faze. Very methodical, using their grenades to win positioning. And does look like they want to get that B play going.
And look at the positioning of the two Splice players on A. This is going to be the longest rotation. And Abe, they have no vision of top mid or arch to the CT side. So Abe's having to move back towards CT in case a flank's coming in case they're getting wrapped. So Splice are in a horrible position at the moment. And here come the nades.
As Aria in the back of the bomb site being isolated by the smokes. Aria's got to get it done with the orb. There's flag number 1, looking for more, and they're getting burned alive. Aria with the finishing shots from the AWP as Abe is now found himself in position, and things are looking very dark indeed now for Faze. It's just on Michael Early. He's got not much time left to play with. And Faze are going to lose that round. So Splice picking up some rounds towards the end of the first half. That was really well handled by them. But Faze with 10 rounds on the T side, have got to be feeling quite confident.
Splice are slowly prying open the window of opportunity, and the money's starting to run low for Faze here. So we can see some picks from Aria. Those smokes and mollies just in the right position. Started off with a nice double peek though from Faze towards that, so it's nice to see a lot more coordination from them than we have generally seen in the past, which is quite promising. So with utility, Faze are going to charge up Banana, 2 fast frags for them. Maybe trades one back, but he's still holding an aggressive position. Down goes another one, there's the bomb as well, and he can still post up once more and try and get a third pick. Baited into the shot by Makalele, and he will take him down, 3 versus 2.
Yeah, lots of aggressive play coming in here from Splice. It seems to be the only way they can get things done. And this time we can see that it is indeed live by the sword and die by the sword, as they are now at a massive disadvantage in players. Professor Chaos versus 3, and the flank is coming as well.
From the back.
Jake in with the Tech 9. And he's going to see his legs. Okay, I thought maybe he was thinking about the knife, but Jake finishes off Professor Chaos. And if you look at every single spot where Splice are picking up advantages, it's not by playing, this classic Inferno and basically having good positioning, good setups with the grenades and so on. It's because they're going crazy and pushing in crazy spots, like pushing second mid with an AWP, or pushing apps with an AWP, or pushing a Banana with an AWP. And these are plays which are nice, but you don't have to rely on them.
So you can see Jacob just disposing of one grenade, so we can pick up a different one, as it can often happen. So we've got a 4-man push from Splice. They're charging down mid. Second mid, and they could get pincered now. Someone's got to find a frag soon. Fox is just hiding in the hole here, and while the rest of his team cover his back. Rain with 3 super fast frags, and that's what I'm talking about. Just not used to playing against people like Rain. Looks like a Bond villain, plays like a Bond villain, except often he will win the battle at the end. The war, as well as the battle. Abe is alone in a cold world.
चारों ही उड़ा दिए
He has
यार.
been dispatched of, Dan. Mercy was laid. 3-12.
Another one of those 3-12s.
I don't see 5 overtimes happening this time.
I don't
Lol.
see either. It's just
Bumpy.
the difference in individual skill is just too great. I mean, one thing that does go in the favor of Splice is they have some explosiveness, which can definitely be helpful on the T side. But the T side of Inferno requires a lot of good coordination, flashing for each other, and this was already brought into question on the analyst desk. They had, bringing up some stats about Splice being one of the teams that flashes the least, and on a map like Inferno, going for dry peaks is definitely not optimal. That's one way to put it.
Nobody wants to be dry, Dan. Moses was wearing sandals the other day. I don't know if he was dry though, but you
ये
don't
क्या
want to be dry,
12-3-0
like
round.
desert, for example.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Neither do I.
Where's this
Splice,
going?
shut up. Splice all need to part the red
Team
team to
back.
get back into this. See what I did there, because the colours of Faze red.
अभी तो एक हाफ
There's not
खत्म
much to
हुआ.
really analyse here. Splice have 3 rounds on their CT side, so the end is probably nigh, but not guaranteed. Never guaranteed. But they're going to need to have
मुझे
the
दिखा रहा है
best of their
0
lives,
round
best of
over
one,
30.
playing for their tournament
Round
life here
0 over 30.
versus Faze, who are individually, you must say, far superior.
Oh yeah.
And they're playing as a team.
I mean, FaZe could also just play a style where they play very, very passively.
Oh, yeah.
Because essentially, if you look at Splice are going to be having trouble with coordination, with, again, nading into certain spots and removing positioning. So if that's their weakness, don't play aggressively and then take that weakness out of the equation. Force them to play in that weakness, and there's no better map to force a team to play like that than Inferno, where there's really hard choke points all over the place. This is the key. This is, to be honest, a great map for Faze to play Splice on.
ये लाल चाकू चेक किए
But we'll have to see, you know, Faze is Faze, highly individually skilled, so
तेरे वाला
we'll just have to see. But I would expect them to play
जो तेरे पास नहीं है
just
उस
close it out fairly quickly. But we'll have to see how things pan out off of the pistol round.
पता नहीं
As you can see, there is not a single defuse kit on
चलो
the
भाई
Faze.
शुरू हो
I can
गया
see it. You can't see it right now, but now you can.
There we go.
So not a single kit on.
ये अच्छा है ना USPS kill confirm नाम भी बड़ा अच्छा रखा है kill confirm
Aim duels for days, but it is a pistol round.
ये कौन सा
Helmets up in this. Foxer though off to a good start. Jacob moving back to the B side.
इसका नाम ही kill confirm
Splice on the instant retreats.
pistol का
One player that's maybe in second mid, but again, Rain's going to try and make as good use of this range as he can. McAleed to get the second strike. Splice left with 3. Not a single point of damage done to the CT side yet. Rain getting a frag, Rain getting another frag, and finally someone gets tagged from the CT side.
ओए यार क्या शॉट कराते हैं
He's got the bullets to do it, but
अपने से नहीं ऐसी चलती यार
to finish things off.
Yeah, what a disaster there. I mean, typically the battle with the USPs and the Glocks is all about, and on a map like this it can be hard, because the Glocks will perform very well across range. They can jump around. The USPs, you know, they fire a little bit slower. They're really bad against armor. You really have to hit
P90 या
shots to
Chia
get the
या
kills. So the
AK-47
Glocks want to close the distance on you.
Okay, यार
that is such a
वो SMG है वो assault rifle है दोनों में फर्क तो देख तो comparison ही गलत कर रहा है
और लेकिन कौन सी ज़्यादा सही है गेम में
So I do wonder if they will come into play more often on T sides for pistol rounds. But here we go. Again, it is 3 P90s on the anti-force spy here for Faze. There can only be glory where P90s are involved on a second round.
Yeah. Actually, at the
P90
last stage,
कितने की है
players like JChem and AZ showed insane stuff with the P90s, to be honest, although AZ this round is on an M4, but AZ typically has insanely good spray control, just like the likes of JChem. So, I mean, they're all, okay, they're all...
Are you talking about spray control with a P90, Dan?
Yeah, man, run and gun.
Is this what you're actually doing?
But generally speaking, you know, saw some good stuff from them with P90s. Anyway, no nades for them, so they just want to, again, they want to fight. They want to take the fight to Splice.
और उस M4A1 का
He's been shot in the face, it's a P90 down, and they're going to have the P90. Professor Chaos has picked up the M4 as well. The bomb is on the way, and Faze Clan are slowly streaming in, but the smoke is down. There's a flash onto Aria as well. He's thrown the M4 for a teammate, but he's been shot through the smoke. The P90 coming in to deliver glory down, to deliver justice.
Well, put the bomb down. Well, they're trying to get the bomb down.
Headshot की एक ही AK पे
But the P90, the M4s, looks like eventually they will prevail. 14-3, and it almost backfired. It almost backfired that they had no nades.
P90 came in to spread the good word, Dan.
तू रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहा है अभी
Was required. Faze Clan 2 games away, 2 rounds away from taking the match and sending Splice home. Telling them to fold up the flags, Dan. Quietly exit the building.
Quietly is definitely the operative word there. So Faze now looking to get a bit aggressive.
मैच की रिकॉर्डिंग दे रहा है ये सारी रिकॉर्डिंग दे जा रहा जितनी भी है और एक ही बनेगी 2-4 घंटे की वीडियो
Oh no! Fox is going to miss the push through apps because he wasn't holding the right angle, but he's finally got the jump on it. But oh, is he going to get in there in time? Abe goes down, Aria goes down. There's more fun to be had. Oh, the D coming in from the back. AZ quickly clears that up. Jason goes as well. Professor Chaos versus the rest of Faze.
ओ दो मार दिया आला
Just like all 4 players just in quad. It's just ridiculous. This is just jokes at the moment here from Faze. 15-3, they are now 1 round away from sending Splice home.
There is the AWPer himself, Mr. Fox. We're not going to get him.
टीम के पैसे किधर दिखाता
hold any angles with the AWP on this map, it seems, as Splice's arsenal is quite limited. Almost looks like it was raided before they went in to pick up their weaponry, so the best they can muster is a Deagle or 3, 2 Tech 9s and lots of nades. Do they Fox this angle here
हाँ.
is that it is very
ये
susceptible
क्या
to
हुआ?
grenades. Not anymore because he's moving forward towards the car. But when he's holding that corner, standing by the tree, you can double.
क्या हुआ है? हाँ चल गया अब.
Repeat after repeat from the likes of Fox. He'll take down both players with the AWP, and
खत्म
now
हो
just
गया
three
यार ये
left
तो.
for Splice. Davies on 14 points of health. In goes an aid. He's going to look for the peak, but JChem is going to assassinate both players, leaving Professor Chaos against 5 to save his team. Oh dear.
Professor Chaos likely gonna get sent back to school, Dan, by the bedlam provided from Faze Clan. Rain is in
Apartment में
to
है.
get one tapped, I do believe. But Rain is Rain, Dan. That's the problem. Oh, the timing though, he's coming in just at the wrong time, and he is indeed going to get shot in the head. There goes Makaleli as well. But AZ will be the man with the plan who can finish things off here. 16 to 3.
मेंटी लगा है यार.
Has come to an abrupt
फिर
halt
भी
and
दो
trying
मार
to
दिए.
move on.
They're trying to put us back on schedule, James.
Things that. So it bugs from the.
फील्ड में आ जाएंगे उसके और किस काम के.
Can't imagine what the chat is spamming right now, but there we go.
Yeah, I mean it's a really brutal kind of group for splicing this way, Fnatic and then running into Faze, because Faze are going to be situationally very, very, very hard to deal with. As opposed to some teams, just because of the individual level. Sometimes, if you're a team like Splice where you don't have that level of skill, for example,
बड़ी जल्दी खत्म हुआ है. इन्होंने पुराने मैच की कसर निकाल दी है.
or something. They were just having fun. They're re-peaking constantly. This is the exact way to lose a game to Splice. Obviously, if Splice were able to actually hit those shots, the way to shut them down is to play against their weaknesses. Faze didn't care. Faze just played their Inferno game and just wrecked them.
Yep. That was quite the avalanche, as expected, I think, by most people. So I'm sure somebody out there put Splice on their pick'em, but unfortunately, you're not going to get the gold. So we should be having an interview with one of the Faze players shortly. And again, that was a quick victory, a nice. I suppose it's a warm-up really for them moving on to their future matches.